here we are in match 2. We lost the die roll, we have a perfectly functional hand, and we will be keeping. Against Scalding Tarn, do I want to play Signal Pest or go with the Signal Pest first? This will probably prompt some sort of removal spell if he has one. At least it is more likely to prompt a removal spell than a Vault Scourge would. And I would rather have him kill the Signal Pest than kill the Steel Overseer next turn. Regardless, I'm going to bet that this is Storm, and that we're just getting stormed off on turn 3. Maybe not. This could be the blue-red Breach Emrakul Moon deck. I would not be tremendously surprised by that. If I see a Remand... I suppose Storm does play Remand, but if he plays like another basic island, then it's probably the Breach deck. Yep, Moon Breach. Etch Champion or Overseer plus Vault Scourge. I'm gonna go for the Overseer plus Vault Scourge play. Slightly weaker to Electrolyze, which is unfortunate if we run into that anyways. And if he doesn't have Electrolyze and doesn't have a way to kill the Overseer right now, this is our best way to put a clock on him before he can cast Breach with Emrakul. It looks like he is... Can't just be passing the turn to us without playing a land or killing our Overseer. That's just awful for him. Maybe his hand is awful. Since he didn't know what we were playing, he didn't know that Blood Moon is kind of mediocre at best in this matchup. He does not have Cryptic Command up this turn. I think I will cast the Vault Scourge and the Signal Pest to get a couple more +1/+1 counters out, and this is just a little bit faster. Than going for the Etch Champion play. Fortunately, we haven't put ourselves down to 15, so a single Breach Emrakul actually doesn't kill us. And we've deployed enough permanents that the Annihilator 6 trigger, while certainly powerful, would not end us either. We would sacrifice our 3 lands, the Ornithopters, and a Signal Pest, and keep Pest, Scourge, Scourge, Overseer, and win from there. And here she just cannot compete. So against the Moon deck, I don't really like Galvanic Blast, just a racing card, we can do better than that. Thoughtseize is better, Moon is not particularly good against them. Put another Etch Champion and call that good. I think Thoughtseize is going to be excellent against their deck, taking either the Breach or the Emrakul, unless they have multiple of both. And if they have multiple of both, we can just try to take their early interaction and kill them before Emrakul comes down, or go wide enough that we survive an Emrakul hit. This is not... It's not the best hand against them, to be honest. It's a little bit susceptible to spot removal, and doesn't survive Emrakul particularly well. Cranial Plating doesn't like having 6 of your permanents sacrificed. But this kind of hand is just too generically solid to ever really want to mulligan. It's just so much easier to have a worse hand than this. Is this a ceremonious rejection? Oh my god. That is somewhat I'm sure he's got a removal spell, but we'll run into it eventually. Or we'll run into a spell snare. Playing Cranial Plating didn't really make sense on that board, and playing a Vault Scourge or a Springleaf Drum would have wasted a mana. And looks like he's down on mana as well, so we can play Drum, Scourge, Plating, assuming he doesn't counter any of those cards. And if he wants to spend another Ceremonious Rejection on a Springleaf Drum on turn 3, then he can be my guest. Lightning Bolt on the Scourge. Sure. So next turn, if we can resolve the Etched Champion, then I think we should have this game locked up. He just won't be able to survive the Cranial Plating to Etched Champion. If he's got another rejection here, then we're in trouble. But not even really in trouble. His hand is so slow since he's not making his land drops. He can't cast Emrakul anytime soon. I'm not sure what Wrath effects they play. Short of Kozilek's Return or a Shatterstorm, there's not really that much that we can get extremely punished by. Could have Snapcaster Mage for a Ceremonious Rejection here, but I think I'll play into that. Yeah. The upside of him not having Snapcaster Mage is turning our 4-turn clock into a 2-turn clock. 3-turn clock, actually. Anyways, shaving a full turn off of our clock is pretty nice. Animate the land for 1 extra damage since we can't cast anything. I'm not considering casting either of those or over getting a 6 damage hit in. It's just too much damage to pass up on. He's actually getting close to Emrakul, which is concerning. cast the Ravager first. Then cast Overseer. Sack the Scalding Tarn, Cryptic Command. Electrolyze. Huh. So one fun thing you can do is sacrifice all of the electrolyzed targets and they don't get to draw a spell. Or draw a card. He was electrolyzing for 2 on the Ravager to make it die, because otherwise I could just sacrifice the Springleaf Drum to it. But it also has the downside of allowing me to prevent the card draw. Now we beat him down to 2. And if he fetches, he's down to 1. So this is not an Emrakul this turn. He does not have the mana, and that's the match. Alright, match number 3 coming up.